Hello and welcome to this module in Power Automate Basics, where we will go through an overview of Process Advisor. Let's talk about what Process Advisor is here to do. Process Advisor is a product that Microsoft is investing a lot of development energy into because it's really the starting point for any sort of transformative automation within an organization. So what Process Advisor is it's a way of recording the steps within a process that you can get started quickly, really intuitive interface. You can record people, yourself or people in your organization doing a particular process and then break down that process and then know where to start with your automation. You set up a process, you share that process with colleagues, to add their recordings. They then record themselves doing the process. You can annotate and edit the recordings, and then you generate a process map that you can analyze and get insights into that. So it's pretty easy to create a process. You create a new process and then you add recordings to that process. And you can share it, so you can share the process that you create with people in the business who are going to potentially, whose process you're looking at to re-engineer and author. There are two roles available. There can be a contributor where they can add their own recordings, or there's a co-owner where they can publish tasks, they can invite people to do recordings, they can do a lot more things if they're a co-owner. So there's two types of sharing permissions. On licensing, when you to get access to Process Advisor, you need to have as a minimum the per user license, which is about $20 a month, something like that. Just that's a common question that we get. You can annotate recordings to remove screen. By default, it'll take a screenshot. You can remove that, or you can annotate the recordings to give notes to people that are doing the analysis of them. Then you end up getting these really rich process maps that can show you what's happening in that business process. You can identify the inefficiencies and where automation could particularly help out. What this is really useful for is looking to find the as-is of how a process is happening. What I find is that in my years of doing this work, if you ask somebody how does a business process happen, they'll tell you one of two extremes: how it should happen, or everything that goes wrong with it. And the truth is somewhere in the middle of that. So what Process Advisor allows you to do is to record people actually doing that process, and then taking that data and seeing what the actual situation is, rather than people's hearsay. Process Advisor, the lab that we're going to do focuses on something called task mining. But there's new capability being added into Process Advisor all the time. This was added in November 2021. So currently what we're going to do is task mining, which is recording someone doing the steps within a process, and then analyzing those steps and creating those process graphs. That's called task mining. That's a very granular, click this, open this, very granular at a user level. Process mining, on the other hand, allows you to create the same style of maps, but this time you're using event log files or database data to generate that same type of map. Now, this is in preview at the moment. We don't cover it in this particular course. We do have a course specifically on Process Advisor where we do go into process mining and show you how to set all of that up. So if that's something that interests you, go ahead and check that out. But for now, we're just focusing on task mining in this course to give you a flavor of what Process Advisor is capable of. Just to give you a very quick overview, what you'll be doing in the lab is, so this here is the task recording piece. This here is process mining, where you are recording the steps of this business process. So this is task mining, where you're mining someone actually doing the work, doing the points and clicks and gathering data this way. Process mining is where you'd be gathering the data from database tables or log files or something like that. Here, task mining, it's the actual steps that a human is doing. And the end result is something like this map here. So we're going to do this in the lab. Interesting notes is in the roadmap. Now this might be mid-2022 before this comes out, but it was slated for the roadmap to be in April, but it's April 22, but it's been taken out. But there is an innovation backlog for managing ideas and projects. So the idea, the vision for this is to put the processes and procedures around managing a pipeline of automation work so that people can generate ideas. You can put custom fields on those processes like return on investment, benefits, all of that good stuff, and prioritize the pipeline of work. So Process Advisor's got a really strong roadmap that I highly recommend keeping an eye on. And of course, in our Power Hours, we will cover Process Advisor as and when updates are released. So the next step for you is to go and do our lab. The next lab is Process Advisor task mining. We will also introduce the concept of solutions, as well as doing the Process Advisor labs. So see you in the labs, and thank you for watching. Chat to you then.